Hey guys, so we are going to get into the Pearson Square this week, and um it's not difficult. It's just it takes a few steps, and it's a little bit of math involved, and um you got to understand how it works. So last week we talked about why it's important to balance rations, and this week we're actually going to learn how to balance some rations. Um, So I just want you guys to follow along, um, pay attention, ask questions if you can. I'm gonna try and give you guys all the information, all that you need to be able to formulate these rations. So we're gonna start here with just formulating rations and talking about that. I'll cover what the assignments will look like this week at the end of the lesson, so you guys don't really need to worry about that. Just follow along, pay attention. You know, take notes on how to do it. If I had a board, I would be able to show you guys, but I don't. So if we were in class, it'd be a lot easier. So I just want you guys to follow along. I'll try and explain it the best I can as we're going through. So um, just if you want to take notes on it, it may help you out whenever you get into like your assignments for this week. So because your assignments are gonna be how well you comprehend being able to use the Pearson Square. So all right, let me turn off my window and we'll get started. So we talked about balancing rations. Now we're going to talk about formulating them. Um, and it's performed for these reasons: to analyze feeds in the ration and the nutrients they provide, combine feeds to meet the nutrient specifications, to specify the nutrient requirements or constraints for the ration, and to provide combination of feeds which meet or exceed the requirements at a lower cost per pound. Okay, so rations are easily formulated by using the Pearson Square method, and it's the most effective when combining just two feeds. Okay, so we're not combining like 14 different feeds here. Okay, that's just not what we're going to do. We're focused on combining two feeds and making that balance out. Okay, so Pearson Square is essentially what it says. It's a square. Okay, and if you are drawing this on your paper, you draw like a 2-inch square. Okay, 2 inches at the top, 2 inches here, all the way around. Okay. Okay, so you would input your feed information. Okay, so if we're talking about a desired crude protein percentage, okay, so that's what we're looking for. We're looking to get a certain percentage of crude protein in this situation. So it may give you like, okay, feed one is soybean meal, so you'll put soybean meal up here, and feed two is cottonseed meal, so you'll put cottonseed meal there. Okay, this is only step two, so don't think I'm getting way ahead because I'm not. Okay, when you put like if it's um, soybean meal, okay, you'll put that with its percentage. If it's 25% soybean meal, you'll put that. The I'll show you guys what a problem looks like here in a minute, but this is just how to set up the um, Pearson Square. Okay, so after you've put your two feeds in their spots, you're going to subtract the feed from the source of crude protein desired in the center of the square. So if it's 18% crude protein, you're going to subtract that. Okay, if it's 12%, feed one is 12%, 18 minus 12, boom, that's 6%. If it's say it's 35%, you go 35 minus 18. You always take the higher number and subtract it from the lower number here. Okay, does that make sense? So if this number is higher than one of these numbers, you subtract that number from 18. If it's lower than one of these numbers, you subtract it from the higher number. Okay. And once you get that number, so this number, if you start with feed one, Okay, and it's 18 or it's 12% crude protein, and you subtract it from 18. That number goes here. Okay, it goes to the bottom over here. So it'd be 6%. Feed two goes to the top. Okay, I hope everybody's following along so far. Okay, so step four, after you get those subtracted, so you have feed one, it's however many parts feed is number one. Your feed stays at the same line, your feed two stays at the same line. But the number goes to this side, goes to the top, this number goes to the bottom, the percentage. Okay. Okay, so add these two numbers together. You go part one, parts of feed number one, plus parts of feed number two, and you get your total parts. Okay, so once you get everything across, you've subtracted everything, you add these together, and that's your total parts. Once you get to the total parts, okay, you will divide it. So um, you'll go parts of feed number one divided by total parts is the percentage of feed number one. So if it's 6%, or if it's if it's 50 parts of feed number one divided by 75, that equals the percentage of feed one. Same thing for the parts of feed two. Okay. Once you've done that, you calculate the pounds of each feed you need by multiplying your percent of feed by how many pounds of feed you need. Feed one times pounds of ration equals total pounds needed for ration. Percentage of feed two times the pounds of ration. So if it's 2,000 pounds, you just go, okay, so if it's 35% of feed one times 2,000 pounds, that's your total pounds needed for that ration. Okay. So let me back up real quick. That's the 7 steps for formulating feed rations with the Pearson Square. Okay. Like I said, I really wish we could be in class so I could show you guys this because it's I'm more of a visual learner. I think maybe some of you guys are, so it'd be easier to see this in person. Okay. But I'm gonna get out of the PowerPoint for a minute. I'm gonna attach um this step by step here. Okay. So it kind of gives you the same things. Like it works in a little bit different steps, but draw your 1 inch square if it's corn and it's 8.9%, and then soybean meal is 44.4%. You'd go 18 minus 8.9. Okay. And you see how they work down here? 18 minus 8.9 is 9.1 parts soybean meal. 44.4 minus 18 is 26.4 parts corn. Then you add the parts together. So you go 26.4 plus 9.1 is equal to 35.5 total parts. Okay, and then you divide it. You divide the parts of corn divided by the total parts. And the reason you do that is you get the percentage. Okay, so if you go 26.4 divided by 35.5, that equals 74.4% corn. 9.1 divided by 35.5 is equal to 25.6 percent soybean meal. Okay, that's the percentage of the crude protein in that feed ration. Okay, now if you need 1 ton, if you need 2,000 pounds, you would go, um, you know, you would multiply it. Okay, you go 74.4 times 2,000. That gets you 1,448 pounds of shelled corn. Same with soybean meal, 512. You go 25.6 times 2,000. It gets you 512 pounds. Okay, and then you add those together again, and you want it to equal out to the exact amount, the exact weight. Okay, I'm gonna leave this here. I'm gonna give you guys this step-by-step process, and hopefully that'll help you guys kind of maneuver through a problem. Okay, but it's so like here's just a um, like practice problem that you guys can look at. You know, a hog producer is feeding soybean meal to and corn to his pigs. He needs to know how many pounds he needs to feed to each in order to meet the pigs' crude protein requirements. Feed one is soybean meal, so you draw your square out here, okay, and you go soybean meal 45%, and feed two has a crude protein of 15% uh, um, of corn, so you go corn 15%, and the desired crude protein. The desired crude protein is what goes in the middle box there. It's 25%. So you would put that in the middle and you calculate how many pounds of each feed the hog producer will need. Well, that's what you get with that last step there. Okay, 74.4 times 2,000. That gets you there. Okay. I hope that makes sense to everybody. I will put, I'll try and find a video and post it so that you guys can watch that. That's maybe a little bit more step by step that actually shows everything. Um, so I'm hoping we can get this figured out. If not, you guys need to let me know. Give me ask questions, whatever you need to do. Like I said, it's a little bit of math, but it's really not too hard. So hopefully we can get it figured out. As far as your assignments for the week, what you're going to do is you'll have. I'm only going to give you two things this week. Um, I'm going to give you an assignment that has one uh, Pearson Square formula or problem, and then your quiz will be a Pearson Square um, problem. So you'll have two of those this week. So you'll need to be able to do the Pearson Square to answer the questions and get the assignments done for this week. Um, just a reminder, we do have an FFA meeting. For those of you in FFA, if you would like to join FFA, let me know and I'll send you the Zoom link for our meeting so that you guys can get that information. We'd love to have you guys in FFA if you want to join. So, with that being said, that's all for the week. Remember, guys, ask questions. Let me know if you have any issues with this stuff, and I'll be glad to help you out. So, or if you want to come in to school sometime this week, just let me know, and we can make that happen. So, um, if there's, I don't think there's anything else, guys. So we'll see you guys. We'll talk to you guys next week. Bye.